Alright guys, well, I want some ideas. So this is my setup for snow. This is what I salt with. I salt with my 450. That's my spreader. I use some American Equipment mud flaps to keep some traction on the bottom of it. I do not strap it in X formation like what they say, because when I did that one time, the spreader fell off the truck and I had to body work it and weld this back on and all that. So I did it one time, and the one time I did it, the spreader fell off the truck. Not doing it again. This is how I strap it. You guys can strap it however you want. This is how mine is going to be strapped on. I've got one on all four corners. Okay, they are the factory buyer straps. I actually don't mind the straps. They seem like a pretty good quality little strap, even though that one's starting to tether. That could have been the one that got landed on when the spreader came off. So this is why that's on there. That's my safety strap. It's, you know, last ditch precaution. What I want, what I do here is I unstrap it, I take chains, I put the forks on top of the spreader, okay, and then I take a chain and hook it here and go to the one on the opposite corner on the front, and then I basically exit. So then I pick it up with the forks, I put it on a big pallet that I made out of 2 pallets. We'll walk in the shop real quick and I'll just show you. And I'll probably do like a time lapse of me pulling it off, but I want something simpler. So here's my special pallet that I made. It's just got 4 2x4s, one on each end, top and bottom. And I literally set the spreader on it, I put the mud flaps on it, I put the straps on the mud flap, I take those 2 ropes and tie it to it, and then it goes up there. So it works pretty good, but I want something better. I want something that is very, very quick on and off, and I want something that securely attaches it to the flatbed. But the main thing is quick. I want it quick. I want it easy. I've got some steel in there. I have a couple ideas. Let me tell you my ideas, and you guys can elaborate and you let me know what you think, because I'd really, you know, sometimes somebody comes up with an idea and you're like, I didn't think about that. Why didn't you tell me that before? I figured I'd try this video. Yes, I know I don't have the chute on it, but this is about where it sits. So my idea, I'd like to capture these 2 bolts and have something, a positive stop here of some sort. My thought is, I think I'm going to make fork pockets out of a 6-inch channel. I'm going to take some flat bar on the bottom. I actually have some fork extensions in there, and it works incredibly well. So I'm going to put some flat bar on the bottom just to capture it so it doesn't flop around. But my thought is if I put frame rails here on the outside, and then I want to bolt it to it, but I'm going to take some 3-inch channel, and like here's my frame rail. I'm going to have some 3-inch channel come like this with a hole in it, and it's going to bolt on there. So then this whole carriage would be sitting up about 2 inches, 2.5 inches. Well, then I've got some 2.5-inch tubing that I can use for cross members if I want to, or I can get something else. But my thought was, that way I've got frame rails here. I can fork it from the back or the front, no matter how it's sitting anywhere. And then I would like to have the ability to have fork pockets on the side. So what I think I'm going to do is I am going to, like, again, here's our frame rail, right? We'll just draw in the salt residue on the truck. I washed it, but you still have some of this on there for a day. So, you know, here's your pocket to where it bolts on. My thought is I can have some 6-inch channel going this way, and I can cut the insides out of this and then weld up my corners so it's a pass-through. That way I could fork it from the side and I could put it up on my shelf, or I could fork it from the back and pull it right off the truck. Next thing is, I want positive attachment. Well, I don't have to get into that toolbox or this toolbox when I'm running the spreader on the truck, probably 90% of the time. My thought is if I have, you know, say it's on the forks of the machine through the back pockets, okay, my thought was is put a 2-inch receiver or a 2.5-inch, you know, piece of tubing here for a 2-inch receiver, and then have a piece of 2-inch tubing come out here like so, and have something that goes down in the pocket, and I can put a pin in it. That way it secures it to the back of the truck. Like there's no way, unless this pin breaks, this rips off the truck, or the pin up here breaks, it ain't coming off the truck. I thought that'd be fairly easy to do. I could have it on my forks. As you know, I have a Kubota. I can get out with something on the forks. I could have, you know, this piece that slides out of the receiver tube, go right into a receiver tube there and hold it so it's nice and, you know, it's right there. I can grab that, I can slide it in, put my pin in it, and then I can come up here with the forks and sit it right on the back of the truck, and I should be able to align the foot that goes into that pocket and this pocket, because I would be right here in the machine. I could see it. That way I could slide it on the truck, drop it down, it's right where it needs to be. I can put a pin, and then all I'd have to do is come up here and put this strap on it and that strap on it, and it'd be done. I've already got it quick connect. I unplugged these two, you know, I bolted these together, so all you got to do is unplug it and then unplug your main power and ground, and then those just sit on the pallet with the spreader. Those go up behind my fuel tank up there, my custom fuel tank toolbox, and my spreader comes on and off. Yes, this is pretty easy to do, but I like to have it quicker on and off. So this way I could literally take this thing off and like sit it in my salt bin or something like that. It wouldn't necessarily have to go up on the shelf, because that's a pain. As you see, the Yanmar's out because it parks back there by the shelf. The tractor's out, well, just because I took the loader off of it, but generally it can sit in there. But I have to move the Yanmar to get it up on the shelf, because that's where the Yanmar sits. It's kind of a pain. So anyways, you guys give me some ideas. I know some guys have the carriage thing with the wheel on the front and the jack on the back. I mean, that's all well and fine. I could build one of those, but I just kind of wanted something quicker. And in summertime, this thing's not going to sit outside. I'll sit it up on the shelf. So that's why I want the side pockets. And I may not even worry about that. I might not worry about side pockets, and I'll fork it like I normally do, or I can fork it from the back, put it on my special pallet, and then put it up there. We may do that, and it'd make it easy, so I just do frame rails through the center. But you guys let me know what you think. It's really cold, but I'm going to try to do some time lapse. I might try to get the extra battery on this, because my battery's all the way down to 47% already, and it was all the way charged. But it's pretty cold out here. Like, I put my hand in my hoodie pocket because I couldn't feel it anymore. So let me get my pallet over here, and we're gonna get the spreader off, and maybe I'll put you guys on the glass, just so I can keep the battery charged in the camera. And I'll show you what I normally do. We'll probably time lapse it, but I'll show you what I normally do to get the spreader on and off, and then you guys give me your ideas. I'd like to have a few more ideas than what I came up with, but I thought that'd be pretty good. And then if anything, you know, safety, if you want to put straps on the back, you could, but I would think that if that thing is pinned in there, that'll keep it racking that way and keep it from racking that way. And then this strap here ought to pull that tight and take some slack out of the deal, out of your 2-inch receiver tube here. And then if you've got a positive stop back here, maybe, I don't necessarily have to do that, but I thought, you know, if I had it stopped there, pinned in there, and just a strap on the front, she ought to fly. But anyways, let's get this thing off, and I'm gonna quit talking. Seriously guys, shoot me some comments and let me know what you think. Give me some ideas. Maybe you'll see them built on YouTube, because I'm building something probably this week or next week. All right, hang out. All right, I thought I'd just show you this real quick. Quick on and off. Does really good. I made me some plugs. I just took another plug, and I cut the back off, because these are on the truck all year around, and it's got dielectric grease in it. You know, I probably need to put more in it, but I just silicone the ends, and it works really good for plugs, so you don't get a bunch of corrosion and stuff like that in there. And then all this does is this tucks up, you know, behind this toolbox, and then the plugs kind of sit like right here. But that's all I do. It works pretty dang good. Well, if I'm not trying to hold a camera, you know how that is, or you guys might not know how that is, but trust me, it's a pain trying to do stuff with a camera and get you guys footage, unless you go get some other mount than what you got, because you never have the right mount. But and I went ahead and took the whatchamacallits off the straps off. I figured you guys knew how to do that. But and all I did is I cut my harness. I ran half my harness in and I cut it and just put the plugs on it and made it that easy. So made it pretty simple. But let me go get my chains, and I'll get the skid loader up here. I'll get the pallet out here and all that. We'll get you guys in the skid loader where it's warm, so the battery doesn't die, and we can plug you in, and we'll get this thing off. Like I'm gonna slide it that way on the pallet a little bit more, and we'll strap it down. I'll throw my straps and everything on the other side. You won't see it, but I put it in between there, the two legs. I'll put like the two floor mats, or the mud flaps rather, and then I put the straps on top of it, and I run a couple strings in it, and then we'll throw it up on the pallet rack. So give me a second. This is what I do every time I gotta take the spreader on and off the truck, and I generally do it every storm. Oh, I guess I didn't slide that. It'll probably be all right. Let's see. It sits on the pallet pretty good. I just put the string on there, just that little bit of rope, just to kind of help hold it on in case it wants to shift while I'm putting it up on the pallet racking or something. And I could probably put it somewhere else, but it goes up there. Where I designated to put it, so that's just where I put it all the time. Well, it looks like my power cord, hang on. My power cord on this one side is dangling off. Now let me get that. Some of you might think that this is kind of a funny thing to make a video about, but my thought was you might come up with a different idea that I didn't think about. I mean, that's how things get invented. People think up something new. I don't know, you guys probably can't see going up here, but salt spreader away. She's up here. See it up here? So if you have ideas about the undercarriage, I'm going to build an undercarriage, and I'm gonna put fork frames on it somehow, somewhere. I think I'd rather fork it from the front and the back, and then, like I said, when I store it for summertime, I can store it like that on the undercarriage. I could always lower that shelf down a little bit more if the undercarriage made it taller. My thought was I wouldn't have to have the pallet, but normally I think what I'm going to do is, if I get an undercarriage built for it that I can fork it on and off real quick, like boom boom boom, I'm just going to put it in my shipping container with my salt, call it done. That way, you know, if I'm putting the salt spreader on, I got to get the salt bin open anyway. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. I'd appreciate it, and we'll see you later.